All right, my name is Jim Shunk, CFA student from Reading, Pennsylvania, and I'm working on my associate's degree. And today we are working together to create the Race and Myths presentation.
Hi, I'm Christopher, and I'm a CFA student, and I live in Miami, Florida. And today we're going to work together and try to choose two myths to talk about and have a conversation about it. So the first myth that I choose was the characteristic of a person, which doesn't define a race. For example, their hair color, the hair texture, the eye shape, and as well as the skin color don't define a race. So for that, basically, the skin color is actually not this distributed on the map as we might expect. Yes, the skin color. Sorry, oh my god. Yes, the skin color and is lighter in Europe, for example, but when we look at Spain, Algeria, and China, we can see they have similar skin tones, which we might think like they might be different, even though they're different race. Like the skin color is defined by latitude and sunlight, but not race. People in Australia, for example, have a similar skin tone than some parts of Africa. For example, another thing is about the nose shape that I like learn while reading like the website is like it's not distributed like geographically like the same that we'll think about when we consider a racial characteristic. For example, the German nose shape is more similar to Arabians than Norwegian. And basically, I don't know. I don't know what to say. Oh my god, I'm freaking out.
No, you're good.
Um, yeah,
It's awesome to see that, with the different races the different skin textures and tones and colors, that to see how you know different areas are so much alike, even with Africa and India and stuff. It's just crazy. Like, I think there was one of the quizzes in there was to try to like determine the different race based on the tone of their skin, and you had to like match it up.
yes, that was a really good, that was a very really good exercise to do, which I actually did, and I think it was interesting to see, yeah, that like we might think like they might be a race, but they're actually like it's a totally different race that you thought
Right.
it was. I don't know when did you do like the exercise, and
Did
did you get a lot of people like right
No,
on?
I was incredibly wrong.
Yes,
I
me
think
too.
I actually, in that exercise, I think I only actually got three people right.
I think so
And
too.
that's
Yeah.
crazy. But it's amazing how and I do it myself even now. Like, I go out and I see someone and I'm like, oh well, they're African American, and they're not. They're
And
Asian.
they're not.
So
Yeah.
so crazy to think that we just generally generalize skin tone as a race. It's so crazy to think.
Yeah, we like it we put people into category when they might actually not be of the category we think they are. Like a lot of people we think they're Asian or for like Chinese, we say always like a lot of people are saying, oh, he's Chinese. No, he's not Chinese. Or, it might just have like the eye shape
Right.
that might look Asian, for example, but that doesn't mean he's Asian at all.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
do that a lot. We look at facial features, we look at the skin tone, the hair color, and things of that nature, and we automatically try to categorize somebody. And that's, yeah. that,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff is nuts.
I was pretty confident putting people into like the categories I thought I was right about, and then turns out I was completely wrong.
Yeah, I too. When I looked at them and I was like, oh yeah, this person based on their colors, they look like they're Native American. Absolutely.
Yeah,
No, they are
absolutely not.
they were Latino. Like, whoa, okay. That was pretty eye opening for me as well.
Yeah, me too.
So, well, the myth that I chose to talk about was being a colorblind society and whether or not we're actually ready to be a colorblind society. And through all of the things that I read in this, ultimately my answer is no. I don't think that we should be a colorblind society, but I do feel that I myself sometimes kind of fell into that range of actually being, or basically kind of thinking along the lines of being colorblind. The idea of being colorblind is to basically say that it's almost to ignore the fact that there are different races out there and that there are racial inequalities and social injustice out there for specifically just thinking for like African Americans, and how the civil rights movement was led and it came to an end, but nothing really changed. We still have the social injustice today, and we still have the inequalities for African American or Latino or Native American. And we as a society just kind of basically like sweep it under the rug. And the idea of being colorblind and ignoring that happens and that's out there, we are really not ready for that, and we're it's really the wrong path for us to take as a society. And some of the ways to kind of counteract that is one of the writers, one of the experts actually said about instead of being colorblind, be colorful, and recognize the different colors of our skin tones and our different uniquenesses, and be more aware of what's out there. Some of the things that I basically took from it was that we definitely need to have the ability to see color and what it has been, for what it is and for what it will inevitably be, and to be prepared to deal with the consequences of our decisions and such. One of the things that really strikes me is that our history is our history. We can't change it. We can't go back and make adjustments to it. But what we do need to learn is we need to learn from it, and we need to allow it to shape and mold what we're going to do in our future. And I think in that regard, I definitely agree that we need to be more accepting of the different colors and our differences in just our skin tone, not even our traits, as you described, where our traits are very, very similar. But we need to be accepting of our color, that our color doesn't define us.
I totally agree with you on every point that you say, and I think you give a very positive message about what our society needs to do. Is I think the most important thing right now that we could do is not just ignoring like the colors, because it's not creating equality at all. I think a conversation about race is one of the most important thing we can do. Acknowledge the different colors and different races and ethnicity backgrounds. And I think it's an important thing to do, because we can't just ignore like the problems that are related to races in general. And we need to have that conversation to be able to fix the problem. But at the same time, I understand that it could be a little difficult situation, like a difficult conversation to have, and maybe uncomfortable for some people. But I think it has to be done.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog.
No worries. I heard that. It's like, somebody's got it. No, that's perfect. Yeah, and I mean that's where I was with it in my thoughts. Awesome. Well, with regard to the poster, one of the phrases that caught my eye was exactly that something along of with effort and awareness and responsibility, or I'm sorry, it was basically choose to be colorful instead of colorblind, or choose to be colorful, not colorblind.
Yeah.
That was my that phrase kind of really stuck with me as I was reading through all of the different parts of that particular myth and trying to debunk it. That phrase just kept coming up. It's like, about being color, and it's color is in quotations and colorblind is in quotations, so it kind of like separates it a little bit.
Yeah, I think that'd be great, like to use that quote with a powerful image and maybe try to use that as a title to define that myth. I think that'd be a good thing to do. Me, I was thinking maybe for the skin color is maybe try to find a picture of somebody that might look like a different race and that is actually not. For example, I don't know, I'm just going to choose, for example, somebody that might look Asian and then put a statement, you might think I'm Asian, but I'm not.
Yeah,
Uh, Something like that. Or just like put a statement like this to kind of like be an eye, like that caught attention like to people. I think that could be a nice thing to do. And then explain the myth and the different like trait and physical trait that doesn't define a race, and try to find the right thing to do. I think when I talked about like the skin color and like the map, it's difficult to explain because we can't see like the map. So maybe I was thinking about like putting the map for skin colors just to show that some of the areas that we might think, we might think in Africa, like they're just all dark skin color, but no, there's like different tones as well. So I don't know if you think that that would be a good idea to do that.
it sounds like it could be pretty cool. It sounds good. I would just be careful not to make it too crazy.
Yeah, because
A
it's gonna
lot
be
of
too many
information
images. Yeah,
and different things there. But yeah, I do like the idea of having someone maybe that's Asian and saying, or someone that maybe looks Asian, but saying you may think I'm Asian, but I'm really Native American or something.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Maybe like my skin color does not necessarily define my race.
yeah.
Something like that. I think could potentially could be a good thing.
That could be a good thing. I think. Yeah, I'm taking note of that.
Absolutely. Cool. So I think we have a pretty good idea. I'm going to stop the recording for today.
Okay, I'm not sure about that recording. Like when I talk, like
We're good. It's perfectly fine.
I was more comfortable afterwards, but